Most people think credit cards are just plastic money, something convenient, something harmless, something that gives you rewards and cashbacks and airline miles. But what if I told you that this small rectangle in your wallet is actually one of the most powerful behavioral control systems ever created? And schools never teach you this, because if they did, the entire debt economy would collapse overnight. So before we begin, understand this clearly. This video is not about avoiding credit cards. This is about learning the rules of a game you are already playing whether you like it or not. Because right now millions of people are trapped, not because they are irresponsible, but because nobody ever taught them how this system really works. And today you're going to learn the 5 credit card lessons schools never teach you. Lesson number 1 is that your credit card is not a financial tool. It is a psychological weapon. Banks don't make money from responsible users. They make money from emotional users. Every swipe is engineered to feel painless. There is no physical cash leaving your hand, no visible loss, just a soft tap and a polite notification, and this tiny design choice changes your brain chemistry. Studies show people spend up to 30% more when using cards versus cash. Not because they want to, but because pain is delayed, and delayed pain feels smaller. So the system trains you to disconnect spending from consequences. And once that connection is broken, overspending becomes normal. This is why minimum payment exists, which sounds helpful, but is actually the most dangerous feature on your statement. Because minimum payment is not designed to help you get out of debt, it is designed to keep you in debt for as long as possible. If you owe $1,000 at 20% interest and only pay the minimum, you could end up paying almost double over time. Not because you are bad with money, but because the math is rigged against small payments. Lesson 2 is that your credit score does not measure responsibility. It measures profitability. Everyone thinks a higher credit score means you are financially smart, but that's only half true. Your score improves when you borrow, when you stay in debt, when you use credit regularly, and when you pay interest on time. A person who never borrows and pays everything in cash often has a worse score than someone who constantly borrows but services debt perfectly. Which means the system rewards people who participate in debt, not people who avoid it. Your credit profile is literally a report card on how well you behave as a borrower, not how well you manage money. That's why banks love customers who revolve balances, because they generate predictable interest income. And now here comes the first twist. Rewards are not free. Every cashback, every point, every travel mile is funded by merchant fees and interest from people who couldn't pay in full, meaning disciplined users benefit from undisciplined users. The entire rewards economy is built on someone else's struggle. And once you see that, you realize credit cards are not generosity. They are redistribution mechanisms inside a closed system. Lesson 3 is that buy now, pay later is often more dangerous than traditional loans because it removes friction completely. When you take a loan, you feel seriousness, paperwork, approvals, timelines. But BNPL feels casual. Click now, worry later. No interest, no big commitment, but psychologically it fragments your future income into invisible obligations. Suddenly your next 3 months are already spent. And because there's no immediate pain, people stack multiple BNPL plans across different apps without realizing they've built a silent debt web around themselves. This is micro-debt, small amounts that feel harmless individually, but become overwhelming together, and this leads to lesson 4. The system does not break you with big mistakes. It breaks you with small habits, late fees, interest, compounding impulse, purchases, subscription creep, lifestyle upgrades, justified by credit availability. These tiny decisions slowly reshape your financial identity until debt feels normal and cash feels restrictive. And once that happens, you are no longer managing money. Money is managing you. Now comes the second twist. Banks don't need you to fail. They just need you to stay average. They don't want defaults. They want consistent minimum payments. They want stable interest. They want predictable behavior. The perfect customer is not rich and debt-free, and not bankrupt either. The perfect customer lives slightly beyond their means forever. And lesson 5 is the most important one. Credit cards amplify who you already are. If you are disciplined, they accelerate wealth, rewards, and flexibility. But if you are emotional, impulsive, or financially unstructured, they accelerate destruction. Credit is leverage. and leverage magnifies everything. Good habits grow faster. Bad habits explode. So the real lesson schools never teach you is that credit cards don't change people. They reveal them. Now let's translate this into real-world rules you can actually use. Rule 1. Never carry balances unless it's a strategic emergency. Interest is silent theft. Rule 2. Treat your credit limit as 0 and spend only what you already have in cash. Rule 3. Automate full payments, never minimums rule. 4-track subscriptions monthly debt often hides inside convenience. Rule 5. Use cards for systems, not impulses, bills, planned expenses, business costs, not emotional shopping. Because once you understand this game, you stop being hunted by it and start controlling it. And here's the haunting truth most people never realize until it's too late. Modern finance isn't designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to make you dependent, and dependency is incredibly profitable. The moment you stop reacting emotionally and start acting strategically, the system loses power over you. And that's the real upgrade. Not a higher credit score, not more cards, but awareness. Because freedom doesn't come from having access to money. It comes from understanding how money systems manipulate behavior. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll notice how every offer, every notification, every payment plan is engineered to pull future income into present pleasure. Most people will never understand how these systems work, and if you don't want to be one of them, subscribe.